Well, thank you, friend. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Now, one of the big issues these days seems to be about freedom and its possible erosion. Always within us, since the beginning of time, that desire to be free, especially in communities where it was but has been taken away. People throughout history, and we're reading about the first true fighters for freedom, have traveled far and wide in order to find freedom. Many a mile to freedom, many a smile to tell. Ask my bluebird to sing you from the heart of a wishing well. Call all my reindeer to graze here. Call all my grain to grow. Then together we flow like a river. Together we melt like the snow. Just look around. The microcosmic reflection of the worldview is so prevalent at universities. Now, for some unbeknownst reason to me, we live in a more divided world now than ever before because we are so divided within as well as without. It's staggering. We've succumbed to the deadly plagues of mob mentality. And of course, one of the great drivers of the mob is modern social media. We should progress as humanity. Instead, we continue to regress. We should be united in our love for life, for the world we share with so many others, with spiritual belief systems, with the commonality of humanity and its reach for harmony. Unfortunately, there's more hate and anger and derision than there seems to have been ever before. Now, I remember reading more than 50 years ago what was really a warning and a lesson from the Torah. Beware the mob and protect and defend others. You do not have to agree with them to be there for them. I don't understand where the hate comes from, but I fear it will not take a generation, if not longer, to recover. Those words I read were from that most famous quote from Martin Niemöller, the German pastor who was a great supporter and proponent of the early Nazis. But a turning point in his political sympathies came with a January 1934 meeting of Hitler, him, and two prominent Protestant bishops to discuss government overreach and pressures on churches and censorship, things that seem to have come back. At the meeting, it became clear that Niemöller's phone had been tapped by the Gestapo. It was also clear that the Pastors' Emergency League, the PEL, of which he had helped found, was under close state surveillance. Following the meeting, Niemöller would come to see the Nazi state as a dictatorship, one which he would oppose. And his famous quote was, "First they came for the socialists, I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak for me." Be there to speak for someone, my friends, because someone will be there for you. Now, perhaps the greatest thing you can do is speak for those who need defenders, who need advocates. In doing so, you protect those who need protection, because that's what we're called on to do, and to teach others to do the same. We're all teachers. It's probably the greatest hidden superpower that you all have. You don't need a degree in education. You simply need to share your knowledge. You need to be an example. Isn't that what we're instructed to do during the Passover ritual? As the Talmud tells us, our main function is to teach our children. Baby, he was making straight A's, but we were stuck in a dumb days. Don't take much to memorize your life. Feel like I've been hypnotized, and then the magic man, he came to town. He done spun my head around. He said, recess is in session, 2 and 2 make 5. And now, baby, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm alive. And if you want to be the teacher's pet, you just better forget it. Rock got no reason, rock got no rhyme. You better get me to school on time. The great Jack Black. Now, I hear very few voices condemning the assailing of Jews everywhere, and we're all teachers and we're all learning and we're all students. But especially, it's quiet at school. Even less defending the people who have been victims forever but have always defended others. Now we're coming up on Purim. We must be thankful that Esther spoke up when it was forbidden, not just for women, but for anyone to speak unspoken to by the king to the king. She spoke up for her people. She saved them from genocide. And isn't that what Hamas is seeking again? Genocide. How hard would it be for us to come together to object to genocide? Pastor Niemöller told us what happens when you do not. There won't be somebody to come for you. It doesn't have to be about someone you are close to, because without realizing it, you're close to everyone. The same atoms, the same DNA, the same energy. We are all connected. As we said last week, this week coming up contains the Festival of Miracles, not Hanukkah, but Purim, the other miracle holiday, the one that preceded Hanukkah by 300 years and was truly a miracle of miracles. The holiday that actually calls for the most intense celebrating of any Jewish holiday. It is a day to be yourself and to try and do so without a mask. You can become congruent in life. No hiding, no pretending. Just you being you. Accept it or not for who you are, not who you pretend you are, because then you only fool others and yourself. According to the Talmud, a person is required to drink until he cannot tell the difference between the cursed Haman and the blessed Mordechai. Though opinions differ as to exactly how drunk that is and whether it is even a requirement. You'll also hear it referred to as a minor holiday, and by that distinction of major and minor, it's not about importance, but whether they're mentioned in the Bible or not. Major holidays are biblical holidays. Minor ones are not. And the two most famous minor holidays, being Purim and Hanukkah, added hundreds of years later, both share the distinction of being about miracles, and both are pure celebratory holidays. Now, the holiday centers around the Megillah of Esther. It's a classic statement of anti-Semitism. It is perhaps the first one written anywhere. Esther 3:8. Haman then said to King Ahasuerus, "There's a certain people, scattered and dispersed among the other peoples in all the provinces of your realm, whose laws are different from those of other people, and who do not obey the king's laws. It is not in your majesty's interest to tolerate them." Words spoken over and over again. Haman, the Persian prime minister, second only to the king, is saying because the Jews are different, they must be suspect. This type of reasoning has again and again throughout history, Jewish or otherwise, been the unwarranted rationale for senseless persecution. This is a tale as old as time. When will we learn? And the names are well known. The king in the book of Esther, King Ahasuerus, it's King Xerxes of Persia. Mordechai, the hero of the story, is actually the Babylonian king of the gods Marduk. And Esther, the heroine, is the Babylonian queen of the gods Ishtar. Now, if you get nothing else from it, understand that it is a miracle story, a stopping of genocide, and a reminder that miracles do happen. Miracles happened then, miracles continue to happen now. The Bible is a series of stories of miracles. Now, the book of Esther is not only one of the great miracle stories. It is the first ode to female power, and it is also one of the great love stories. So enjoy it next week, my friends. And do not forget the 4 simple things you're encouraged to do on this holiday, and which we do all the time. Perform acts of tzedakah, charity, kindness. Give gifts to the less fortunate. Honor the appointed time. The 14th of Adar, as the book of Esther tells us, and we are to remember the days of Purim for all generations, and we have. Hear the book, the story of Esther, maybe watch one of the many films made about it. If you don't see it or hear it on Purim, it's okay. It's a great story, so make it an anytime event. And enjoy a holiday meal. It is celebratory, so have a great time. That's an amazing story celebrated now for 2,500 years as people don costumes worldwide and gather and celebrate. Just as we gather and celebrate as a like-minded group a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith and love, as we come together to be just ourselves as a community, because we are a fellowship, a true chavura. So we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. Sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay, and even though together, we're still individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, go ahead and invite everybody, some physically, some digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov, Hine Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Now we support each other in this community, so let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. And it's goodwill, energy, light that we send to help heal whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewals for everyone. Just float through space, finding those in need. So send it out. For those you know and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is that tikkun olam that is part of our spiritual genetic makeup and a part of the healing of the world. So we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. Although it's the prayer for the sick, it's not for people who necessarily have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. It's for those who need renewal. Let's all send the energy out for the people in need everywhere. And always special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We all want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. Let's continue to send healing energy for the hostages still held, still in prison. Let's demand they all be free. For those close to her. Because there's always people in our own lives, and they change all the time. For Alan the Wise, for Charles, for Miriam and Carson, for Callie, for Amin and Gabby, for Jessica and Trevor, for Snoopy, the builder, for the elf, for Sabrina and Dave, for Marie and Paul, for Pam, for Marlu, for Shelley, Lucy, Winston, Inura, for Alana, for Johnny and Fern, for Kathleen, for Mina, for Carla, for dear John and Maria, for Gloria, for Doria, for Connie, for Ronnie, for Mayim, for Tally, for Nina, for Danny, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, for the whole world, and for sweet Devorah. We pray for those who need prayer. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes and goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabara, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing, renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Renewal is for all. Now we're now in the last month of the year, Adar, Pisces. An end, but also a month of new beginnings with new years, new choices. We're going to celebrate them all together. And I want to wish a super happy birthday to a dear old friend of mine whose birthday is this week. It was always there for whoever had need. Those are the people whose hearts kept growing, unlike the Grinch whose heart shrunk. And we all know Grinches. Now, last week we read about the heart and the need to make donations from the heart, from feeling and desire, not from obligation. The heart was a very special organ, and it still is. The heart was the ancient organ of understanding, of thinking, of determining who you are, of love. The brain was a throwaway organ. It followed the dictates of the heart. It was the heart which God said man kept evil within. It was the heart which Moses said needed to be circumcised, to be opened to love. It was the heart that God looked for and who would be the king when he chose David. It was a ruby that she wore on a chain around her neck in the shape of a heart. In the shape of a heart. It was a time I won't forget, for the sorrow and regret in the shape of a heart. In the shape of a heart. I guess I never knew what she was talking about. I guess I never knew what she was living without. People speak of love, don't know what they're thinking of. Wait around for the one who fits just like a glove. Speak in terms of a life and a living. Try to find the word for forgiving. And we do try to find the one who fits like a glove. We do try to find the word for forgiving, when it is simply, please forgive me. I forgive you. It should not be so hard. We've devoted an entire holy day. In fact, now the holiest day of the year, just for those two sentences. And that has overtaken, from an observation perspective, the most important of the holidays in the Bible, and the holiday of freedom, freedom from fear. Now, last week, the funds were raised, and this week we get the details of what's to be built. So join me as we read tetzavah, you shall command. We now get a series of commands, all connected to the accoutrements of worship. And the first is actually a slight misunderstood one. Exodus 27:20. And you shall command the children of Israel that they shall bring clear pressed olive oil to you for the light, to keep up a lamp always. The famous Ner Tamid, which we call the everlasting light. The lamp that burns perpetually in synagogues the world over, either before or near the Ark of the Law, the Aron HaKodesh, different name for Ark. But the next sentence tells us it is lit by Aaron and his sons evening till morning. Okay, it's not like a perpetual motion machine. Does that diminish it? Doesn't have to. It may not be as miraculous, but it was never meant to be a miracle. It is a symbol in our lives of light. Light at the end of the tunnel, there for all of us. During the day, the great light from God, the sun lights our way and lets us see. But at night, light brings peace, the Ner Tamid, always a beacon of hope, a light of life and love in dark and troubled times. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When times get rough and friends just can't be found. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. We not only have a bridge over troubled water in our lives, but we are the bridge over troubled water for so many others in their lives. We're then told a new order was being created. This order is the priests, kind of taken over. Exodus 28:1. And you bring Aaron your brother forward to you, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, for him to function as a priest for me. Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, Aaron's sons. About to create the most exclusive force in history, the most sought-after position throughout history, the elite group in charge of the most famous of all antiquities mentioned last time, the Great Lamp, the formula for divine incense, the tabernacle, the abode of God on earth, the Ark of the Covenant, and the most mysterious of all, Exodus 28:14, you shall make a breastplate of judgment. Now the Ark was pretty cool, but a breastplate of judgment, which when used with the Urim and Thummim, provided a direct method of communicating with God. Who wouldn't want to be a part of a group responsible for all this? And we're going to witness and experience its actual creation in a week or so, and sit through the initiation and ordination. It's a powerful and special moment of which I've had the pleasure of undergoing. Throughout history, no position is more desired than that of being part of God's Praetorian Guard, and it was one in which you could never apply for membership. It don't come easy. You know it don't come easy. It don't come easy. You know it don't come easy. Gotta pay your dues if you want to sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy. You don't have to shout or leap about. You can even play them easy. Forget about the past and all your sorrow. Future won't last, but it will soon be over tomorrow. It was not easy to be a member. This was the hardest club to join. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everyone you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate with each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Please do. Learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. You always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But always do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You should learn to be forgiving and compassionate. The secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness, in your ability to be mindful, aware, present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart. Because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone. Someone will actually always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too, because we share together, we learn together, we help each other because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. Let's find them. Tell them what they mean. You're never alone on your journey. Listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, them, they talks to you. And remember, your connection to God and all that he's created, body and soul, it's a part of me, it's a part of you, it's a part of everybody. It's all of us forever. Listen to his voice. He's talking to you, just you. He loves you and always will. So take a few moments, share goodwill with the world, and stop by to celebrate a holiday built on the roll of a dice. You always won. Every time you placed the bet. You're still damn good. No one's gotten to you yet. Every time they were sure they had you caught, you were quicker than they thought. You just turn your back and walk. Always said cards would never do you wrong. The trick you said, never play the game too long. A gambler's share, only risk you would take, only loss you could forsake, only bluff you couldn't fake. And you're still the same. You're all winners. And we've all celebrated the same way for thousands of years. The number of Jewish holidays are built on the roll of the dice. The two most famous are this one and Yom Kippur, which has supplanted Passover as the most important holy day in the year. So thank you for joining me, my friends. Have a great week. Enjoy the great holiday of miracles, and I'll see you all soon. And I hope you all continue to celebrate all of the miracles of life. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.